Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, I'm like, what is that black thing? It's makeup. Um, please, before we get started, go ahead and like, please. Thank you. Share and be a part of the party. You know, today, as you can see, we're talking F that I want to be married. Maybe, if that's okay. And that's exactly how it was in my head. That's exactly how it was in my head when I wrote the title, the topic. That's exactly how it was. Anywho, let me um let me comment this where you can join if you would like to join the pothead via if it's verbally I meant visually or audibly. Do okay, there we go. Um and then let me go one other place and do the same. Again, I ask that you all um like, share, and join into the conversation. Oh, I'm excited about the topic. I really am. Oh, I am a little unprepared, but it's okay. Now I'm prepared. See? Don't get it twisted, you girl prepared. There you go. Okay. Yes. We are talking about love and marriage, love and marriage. Go together like a horse and carrot. I'm very disappointed that I sang for that long. Anyway, so while I wait for my co-host to join in, I'm sorry, I have to post where you guys can join the conversation. Okay, there we go. It is pinned so that everybody can join in. All right, hear myself is annoying. So we're talking about marriage. Not necessarily, I mean, it'll all be encompassed with the love portion. Um, of course, that's a part of it, dating, all that stuff. But the gist of it all is marriage. Is it for me? Is it against me? Am I for it? Am I against it? Um, so, my first question to those that are watching right now. Oh, let me do this too, because that just helps me out. For those that are watching right now, my question is: do you want to get married? If you aren't married, do you want to get married? And if you want to get married, why or why not? Is marriage something that's part of your plans, or is marriage something that if it happens, it happens type of thing? Or not that? Or is it just not something that you want? And if it's not something that you want, then why is that? Let me know. The reason for this topic, besides the fact that it's in February, Valentine's Day month, whatever, is because I've been meeting people that really shock me with how they think about marriage or how they want marriage to go and or the process to getting married, I suppose, how they want that to go. It's really, really weird. To me anyway. To me. So let me not be weird about it. Okay, we have our first guest. I'm gonna add it to the screen. Well, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Your name on here, although it doesn't show, is what broom? What does that even mean?
Because the topic is about marriage, right?
Right. Does that mean you want to jump the broom or
I
you
said, what
like?
broom? No jumping of the broom. What broom?
Oh, so okay, so you don't. You're not an I do. You're an I don't.
And I won't.
Oh, I will see. We'll see about that. You say that now, you never know. So, so I guess you gave us your views on marriage and which how you want marriage to go, and if you want it, if you don't want it, and you don't want it, why don't you want
Submission is not for me.
it? Okay, okay. Elaborate. What do you mean submission is not for you? Not every man wants a submissive wife.
But that's my views on marriage. I feel like the woman should be submissive and let him lead. So, I mean, even though that's not what he might want, that's something I feel like should be done, and I'm not doing it.
Okay, but you don't think that there should be some sort of I mean this topic isn't about marriage really, but you don't think that there should be some sort of agreement? Like if his belief is the same as yours, you don't think that would be honored?
Right. I believe that there should be an agreement. But let me say this. I'm not saying I believe that a woman should just listen to everything he say and just follow, as a little soldier. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when it comes to having the final say, stuff like that.
There's a comment from Chad that says, "Can you be with a submissive man?" That's a great question. That's a
Negative.
great question.
I don't want to lead. I want to be led. Chad, come on now. Let's see
Get
your
on
face.
over here, woman. So, so wouldn't that make you a submissive person if you want to be led?
But that will make me want to be submissive in the roles of marriage. Therefore, I don't want to do it.
That makes you submissive in the role of marriage. So you'll be submissive in the role of a relationship, but not married. Okay. 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 Cool.
No,
Cool. Cool.
I'm
Cool.
not
Cool.
being
Cool. Cool.
submissive in a relationship because I don't want to
But if
do
you
it.
so somebody being a leader doesn't make you submissive to that person.
Say that again. I missed that.
So you being led by someone doesn't make you the submissive to that person.
I don't want to lead in a marriage. We talking about marriage, right? I'm confused.
Right. Right. So you will be submissive in in a dating situation, but not in a marriage.
No, I will not be submissive in a dating relationship either. Because if I would do
Exactly.
that, then I would be married. I would get married.
Exactly. So if someone is leading you, and maybe I'm saying this wrong, Chad, help me out. Um, if someone is leading you, does that make you the submissive in that situationship?
No, I don't think it makes me submissive. I'm saying the final say goes to him. I don't want to do all that no more. I'm only
Okay, okay,
in disagreement.
okay, gotcha. Okay, okay. So who? Okay, so since we're talking marriage, and I know you don't want it, but you have to talk about it today. So who should lead the marriage discussion?
Wait, what? Who should lead the marriage discussion?
Right. So say you're on a date with someone and it doesn't matter how long y'all been dating. Let's say y'all been talking for a week versus you've been talking for 2 years. Who should make the initial? Who should bring up the topic?
I don't think that matters. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whoever's thinking about it.
Okay. Does that does that topic create an issue? Could or I
For the
guess
person
could it
for the
could,
person
but
that
does
doesn't for the person that doesn't want to be married, yeah.
you don't think it brings up an issue for the person that wants to get married or both? I guess.
No, I'm saying it will only pose an issue for the person that doesn't want to be married. They don't people don't want to talk about things that they don't want. So it's like stay
And
away
in
from that
turn,
conversation if that's not what I want.
right, and in turn could cause an issue with the person that does want to get married to the person that the talk doesn't want to get married. Ooh. And then how do you backtrack from that, right? So you would prefer to just date? I think. Oh, I don't know. Did I answer that question? I don't know. I feel like the man should bring up that topic because if you're gonna lead, lead. And if he doesn't bring up that topic in the time frame in which you think that topic should be brought up, to me, he don't want to marry you. So you might want to move along. Oh, you look nice. So you might want to move along. I can't hear you though.
I
And
said
you
I
talk
look,
video, but then you mute yourself.
look like my
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Show your dress off. Show them off.
I'm listening. Sorry.
So, um, I forget what I said now. Can I show? Why are our names showing? Hold on a second.
I look crazy.
I'm gonna take that off for a sec. Okay, there we go. So the question was, what I was saying was, I feel like the man should bring up the relationship because if he wants to lead, then he should lead, and if he doesn't bring it up in the time frame in which she feels that he should bring it up, then he doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't want to marry you, so you should probably move along.
I agree.
So that's mine. Some people be like, well, if you don't say anything, if you don't speak up, then how is he gonna know? He don't know he want to marry me.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's how I feel on that one. Why is it so taboo to talk about marriage on a first date?
Because most people just kicking it. I think it adds unnecessary pressure.
Like what? Like what kind of pressure? Nobody's asking anybody to marry anybody. And this is me playing devil's advocate. Nobody's asking anybody to get married right now. Just letting you know, I do want to get married. I do want to have kids. I do want to. And if that person doesn't want to do that, then doesn't that save each person some time?
But I think people get to know people and they will fall in love organically. But I feel like when you're putting pressure, cause saying, "Hey, I want this, I want that," I think that's pressure. And it's like, well, dang, we ain't even. This is an interview, like to get married tomorrow. I mean, that's just me. I wouldn't talk about marriage on the first date, or I probably wouldn't even the first year, 2 years. Like, I don't know.
Now, okay. Now, uh, me personally, I agree. First date, like, chill out, dude. Like, what? Whoa, you're getting kind of desperate, sir. Chill out. Um, but within, I feel like I
You
would say
need
in the
to get
first
in the house.
year,
We're done
I
now.
I can I can hear you.
Cause you need to take a. You did not take
Um,
a shower.
okay, let me whoop you there. Uh,
Sorry.
unmute yourself when you're ready to come back. Sorry, I had to mute you. You were busy. So I do think in the first year, sometime in the first year, there should be some sort of discussion about marriage within the first year. Should you be married within the first year? That's on you. I used to be opposed to it. Now I'm not as opposed to it. Um, Once upon a time I was. So Um, so yes. Okay, I'm gonna I'm sorry, what room is doing her stuff sizzle? Let's talk to Chad, but let me say this. Chad did bring up the point where I think women who have it on their mind should bring it up early. If men bring it up, women might think they are automatically a candidate. Ooh,
Oh, that was good.
okay.
Chad. You teaching now.
Ooh.
It's dangerous.
Because in all honesty, yeah, I would think that. Like, if he's thinking about marrying me, oh God, I don't like
Yes.
him.
That's
I don't want to marry
abs.
him.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, Chad.
you
You in
better
the
teach
with
me
the
So
something,
let's
Chad.
let me add a layer to that. Although it's a fundamental thing to bring up, right? If you're serious about the relationship, eventually we're going to talk about marriage, or at least your views on it.
Uh-huh.
So let's say that is not talked about, right? And that's not made important. What if the guy was like, I want you to cook for me and be submissive? What if he said something that I don't know, hard to digest? And what he really meant was like, oh, I just want like an old school relationship, right? Like some things are really hard to hear, and men, the reason why they don't talk so much is because they're afraid of what to say. Like it's like I don't want to say something too profound that I can't back up, right?
And women just talk recklessly, and we don't care if you have to back it up or not.
Women are very they're like acrobats, right? They could dance through conversations, rebound, back up, be like, oh, I kind of said that, but this is what I meant, and breathe through it. And they might cry in the closet. Not saying men don't cry, but they have a way of processing faster communication. Men, don't aren't as vocal, and that's why historically the whole like, oh, he's getting hot at me is such a big thing. Like he ain't even gotta say much, right? Like he's gonna say something, right? Like it's somehow more sensitive for a man to speak so profoundly or ask such like profound questions.
Okay, and I think that definitely goes to the type of woman.
Yes.
Because I feel like a more intellectual woman who wants a profound guy speaking as opposed to staying to the sidelines and just letting it happen as it happens. Speak up, my guy. Speak up.
Well, so what I would love to interview
What?
everyone in the world about is um, what happens to you physically when you provoke or ask for, like you provoke a conversation, you ask something that you want to know, but their response causes your body temperature to rise. Like, how do you really deal with the reality of those answers? Because if you play a safe game, you ask safe questions, and you could find out generally how somebody is shaped without asking them, "What do you think about marriage?"
So
Right?
you're saying people should be uh less direct and basically ask 5 questions to get to the one answer that they actually want.
I'm not saying they should be. I'm saying they are, and
Men are.
I can just speak for men generally,
Okay.
and the reason why they are is it's like a defense mechanism. I guess it's
Protective. I agree. I can accept that.
yeah. I mean, any time that I've ever mentioned the possibility, insinuated marriage or whatever, the way the eyes go like it's like like you gotta relax. Like I'm not saying you out the game. I'm not saying like you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
I agree.
Okay. Oh, go
I
ahead.
I
Jay. I should have waited.
I, I think I think there are definitely times where before you ask the question, you've already pre-gamed a lot. I don't think now this is me, and I think I speak for most men. It's always shocking to me when a woman says no to a proposal. When I see these viral videos,
Mm.
was that
Painful.
wait for me?
Oh, sort of. Wait, we I'm talking about bringing up the subject of marriage, not necessarily asking for her hand in marriage, because I agree with you, and I would think everyone agrees with you that he should have pregame. He should know whether she's gonna say yes or no. Like
Right, right.
Yeah,
you
you should. But
Yeah.
those videos are heartbreaking. Like,
They're
God.
heartbreaking.
they
And I'm
are
saying to
they are.
myself, how did you not know that she was going to say no before you talked to her mom and dad and grandma's here on an oxygen machine? You had
Mm.
enough time to coordinate grandma's oxygen machine, and you had no idea that she was going to tell you no. That's always shocking to me.
Right, right.
You know, but
So when did? Oh,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was
I'm
going to
just
say
wondering
that,
if it's like a hoax, but yeah.
right. But even broaching the subject of marriage in a normal relationship, I think it's interesting to me that one, it feels like it always has to be the man's tiptoeing around the conversation. I would just want to free ladies tonight. Ladies, you are definitely free. I free you right now. Go ahead and take the handcuffs off. You are definitely free to bring up the idea of marriage. Guys, that is not an automatic tuck and run situation for guys. Okay. I don't know why it's crazy to me to think that just because she mentions marriage, the idea of marrying me specifically, even if that makes somebody tuck and run, you need to reevaluate your entire relationship,
Right.
especially if you're already giving marital benefits. Hello, come here, come on, lean
Hello.
in, lean in. That should scare you, right? That should scare you. I think it's either or, but I think there is a romantic element of daydreaming and life planning, even if we're not 100% sure that that's where we're going to be. There is something romantic about seeing a couple with children, or picking kids' names, or
Right.
talking about if we were married, where we would live. I think those kind of conversations in a committed relationship are healthy, me personally. So I think what knowing when you're gonna ask, or if she's the one. I mean, if mom's okay with her, she's 90%. She's 90% in there.
Okay. My question is bringing up the topic because you said women are free to bring it up. Bringing up the topic on the first date, is that okay? Ashley said no, and I agree with that. Bringing it up on the first date is kind of whoa. But he
Whoever this
said
McGee guy
that.
is, whoever this McGee guy is, he's
Hmm.
probably my lost brother. It is incredibly sexy when a woman knows what she wants and she's
So
decisive.
so her bringing it up on a first date is okay. So
One
look,
thousand
so
percent.
let's role play. Let's role play
Okay.
on a date, and we have this regular old conversation, and I'm like, so I just want to let you know that I do want to get married. I do want to have kids, and that is where I am right now.
Okay, that's what's up. I want to get married and have kids one day too. We'd have some cute kids, you and I.
Well, they be short, but whatever. No.
Wait, hold on. Let me call my therapist. Let me call my therapist and tell him I just had a setback. Hey,
You
bring out
so
the
ridiculous.
bottle of gin.
Right, right.
So since we're still role playing, I would
Wait,
like to.
this is that's a great follow up question. Actually, that is a great follow up
This
question.
guy,
I
I
mean,
want to
yeah.
follow this guy on social media. This guy's going places.
So looking for a relationship. I dig it. I dig it. Okay, Ted.
You're on a date and you say,
Hmm.
"I want to get
First
married
date.
and I want to have kids, and that's just where I'm at right now." And then you hand the ball over.
Hmm.
I would hope that in that statement, I want to get married, I want to have kids, there's at least 5 or 6 other things you're going to name. Because otherwise, it is overwhelming, right? Like, that's, I think, the package that generalization immature men run away from. Like, oh, she trying to lock me down, right? Uh, but if you say, like, I want this, I want that, I have a whole list of things that I want, and if you're interested in this relationship and developing it, then here's my, not expectations, but here's what I'm shooting for, right? Do you have that in common?
I think though, at some age, if you are, I'm 35 now. I think if I meet a young lady at 35 and she's childless, or she even has a child from a previous relationship, I have to assume that if I'm dating someone 35, that she is definitely not doing this just to be doing it. I have to assume
Right. You're dating with a purpose.
that
I agree.
at the age of 30. Now, am I saying that there aren't any women in that age bracket that are dating to date or to have fun? But I gotta assume that if I'm gonna embark on a 2, 3, 4 year cycle with this woman, that even from the onset, if we're not saying we're getting married tomorrow, we are definitely saying that this is something that potentially could lead to marriage. If not, at 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 35 is different than 25, right?
Right.
At
Well,
35,
I'm gonna say yes. However, um, when I was, I've never dated for fun. I always dated with a purpose. But you can blame my parents for that. That's why I don't have like 1,700 relationships under my belt.
guys, that was code for I I uh I have not been handled much, so you got a lot,
No,
you got a lot to it's worth the wait. Y'all better hop in that inbox, fellas. I got you. No, it's
no,
okay. It's okay, Brand. Brand, I got you. I read straight through that.
Right. That's all
That's
that
like
means.
when
Low
you go
body.
to the car lot, low mileage. Hello,
no,
premium over here,
no,
fellas.
no. That man, stop it. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you, dude. You better stop.
Low body count.
No, pause. What that means is, and we're gonna get back to some of these comments because there's some good ones in the comment section. What that means is, if I'm dating you, if I'm in a relationship with you, then I see it possibly going somewhere long term. I hate, I hate both of y'all right now. Like y'all are enemies
That
right
inbox
now.
about to be so lit up. Hey,
Oh my
fellas,
god! See,
send
look
pics
at
with
this,
your
look at this
clothes on.
nonsense. See, look at this. I'm in trouble. Look,
Ooh,
see,
ooh,
stop the lies. Anyway,
ooh,
back to
stir
what
the
he
pot,
said.
stir the pot,
I'm
Black
gonna
chicks.
go through some of these comments real quick. I can't stand y'all. My face hurts. Anyway, so he says he's asking that question right there, and he's asking further questions because he wants to know what he's dealing with. He's trying not to waste his time or hers. And I agree. Let's not waste each other's time. But the first date, whoa, calm down. This next comment, I cannot stand y'all. Walter's next comment would be, a question would be, are you ready for the responsibility of being a wife and how so? I'm mad at that question. I'm not mad at that question. I don't know what the responsibility is of being a wife besides submission, because ultimately everything falls under that. So my question to you, Walter, is what are some of the responsibilities of a wife? And fellas, I'll ask you and what broom as well. What are some responsibilities of a wife?
I think okay, Walter's getting married soon. Walter, I don't know if that was a
That's what he said. I didn't read the comment. What did the comment say?
He said he'll be getting married soon.
Okay.
okay. Congratulations. I think
Right. Congrats.
I I think some of the responsibility. Well, before I touch on the responsibility of the wife, I just want to go back 2 steps and say this. I think 1,000% that the overwhelm, and I'll give a personal example. I remember talking to a girl, and after talking for maybe 3 or 4 days, I asked her, um, if I asked you to marry me, would you say yes? And I posed the question in my mind, because the first few days they can't do no wrong. Even their bad breath smells good, right? And
No.
so, no, Brandy said no. Listen, so in true your mama fashion. So, so watch this. So her answer was yes to me. And I remember thinking, even though I posed the question, the fact that her answer was yes intimidated me. Even though I posed the question in one of those goofy little puppy love conversations, and the fact that she said yes, it intimidated the crap out of me because I'm thinking to myself, we're getting married. in my mind, we're getting married. and it was stressful, right? It was absolutely stressful. So I think having those conversations are cool if you know they're just cool, calm, collective conversations. If a man or a woman asks you about marriage, y'all talk about marriage in a light way in the first few weeks, few months. Don't be out telling nobody, girl, I think we get married. Don't put that pressure on that,
Okay,
bro. All right.
so that brings. I'm sorry, Chad, Ashley. Did y'all want to say anything to this?
Did you end up marrying that girl?
That's a good question.
I'm sorry.
Did you end up marrying her?
No.
Oh, okay.
How long did the relationship, Chad? How long did the relationship last after you said that? And she said yes.
A while. It lasted a while. We I don't think we ever talked serious about marriage again though.
Well, you never talk serious about marriage. You just threw that out there.
Right. And you know what? I think I threw it out because of the first couple of days, how well we were clicking. Um, yeah, but
Okay, let me. I want to show this comment because I know some people can't really like talk and read at the same time. So it says a man knows in the first 10 minutes if she's marriage material or past his match. I don't think he means. I don't think he means literally 10 minutes, but it's pretty quickly. Do you agree with that or not? Then I'll ask my next question.
you know,
Do you,
I know that's a common school of thought these days. I don't agree with that. I think there are some women who are beautiful surprises. There are some women that you talk to and that you date and that you may not have thought you would want to marry, and some way somehow they wrap you up, and you are thoroughly like, I could do this for a couple. Yours, mine, ours. I can
I
do
could
this
do this
for
for
Very,
right.
hours.
So
very
I think,
pitchy.
Sitting
Very
talking to
pitchy.
you. Something.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
like
think I
Very
think that
we
pitchy.
have
women,
the same temper.
but you know what? Women
You
have the
heard her talk about
ability.
very pitchy.
Right. Women have the ability to reinvent themselves, though. Women have the ability to reinvent themselves. Some women you want to leave, and they'll turn into somebody else.
Okay, but she's already showed you who she was, so are you staying or not? That's just a rhetorical question. You don't really have to answer that. But I do want to ask this question. I'm sorry, Kat, did you have something you want to say? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay, so if a guy asks a chick about marriage and she says, and this is something I normally say, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not pressed to make something happen. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna make something happen.
I'm not pressed to make something happen. So it's like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I like me enough to be with me.
No, I think you should not be married. And no one, male or female, should get into a marriage thinking, "Oh, I can do this forever," or I'd not. I think you should feel like,
No, I mean when he asked the question. So what do you think about marriage? Like
uh-huh.
what do you think about marriage? And it's the response is if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm fine with it happening. I prefer it happening. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I
I
think if that's your truth, then okay. But if that's not your truth, trying to be nonchalant doesn't work. I mean, I think people want honesty and upfront, conversation. So if you really do want to get married, then there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, I want this."
There's nothing wrong with saying that you want that. I think that's actually
Mhm.
a very good thing to state. But I think that
Okay.
so a lot of pressure that we put on any person pursuing a relationship, thinking that there's a milestone or a pinnacle with just getting married. Like that doesn't make your relationship. I'm not saying I'm not for marriages, but working with a global company, I went over to Europe a lot, and it's typical for them to date for 7, 8, 9, 10 years before getting married, and no judgment. It's just like, yeah, this is my partner. This is no joke who I'm with. But the marriage thing is just like a milestone. It's not the end all be all. So if it is your end all be all, you kind of have to say, you have to state that up front as a significant like go, no go. Which is unfortunate because most people don't even know what marriage is or a healthy marriage is. So you're forcing someone to make that decision quite early, even before they know you completely as a person.
You always know if you want to get married.
Oh,
Okay,
you might, you know.
I'm just saying. There's always something that you. I'm not in my life. I'm just speaking.
You can speak your mind.
yes. Come on in. Come on in.
Come on, come in.
That's better half.
Mm-hmm.
Make my
Chad.
Chad happy. We're cool. We're cool.
Chad, welcome to premarital counseling.
Basically, right?
No, all I'm saying is like,
Whatever.
oh, whether you want to get married or not. Like, yeah, I think when you go into a relationship, some people, always want to get married. That's what they want to do, and some people really don't want to get married. So you have that conversation at the beginning when you get with someone. That's just my thoughts.
So on a first date, you feel like it's okay to speak about it on a first, second date?
No, I don't think. I think when it gets to the point that you guys are like, I don't know, like you have that talk that you're exclusively dating and you want to take it to the next level, that kind of thing, then that's when I think you should talk about things like that, where you are both wanting from each other, what your expectations are, what you're wanting. Because I think that comes about in conversations anyway, whether it's a first date, second date, third date. I mean, not so much with that person, but just an overall thought. Like, what are your thoughts on marriage? That kind of,
Right.
just a conversation. So I think that could come up at any time during a date or.
First date though?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, but it
All right.
can be honest if you come, if that.
You were still working earlier, so let me plug you into the side. I won't say the other side. This was my side. You're on a first date, however many first dates you had. A woman, whether you're 18 or 35, fair game for them to be like, sir, so what are your views on marriage? Do you like kids? Like, those are just questions that are not alarming, right? Expected. What if I, or the gentleman who was sitting across me was like, so what do you think of marriage? Kids?
I would talk about it.
Would you feel like
Right.
I am?
Because he asked. I don't.
You wouldn't. I'm saying that like I'm looking at you.
It's the way he's asking. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, if it was just a conversation, you were like, so what do you think about marriage? What are your thoughts? Or, do you like kids?
No,
I mean,
but his body language, all of his body language. He's holding your hand. Look, what do you think about? He's saying with me. That would make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
If you add body language, it could confuse the whole thing, right?
I'm not doing that.
So that was. Oh, go ahead. I should have waited.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. I think, though, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just tired. I'm tired of being tired. I don't have a problem with certain things being up front. Because if you develop a connection and a like and an enjoyment with a person, and you have no plan of being married and they want to be married in a year or two, you are going to find yourself either wasting time or in a relationship it's hard to leave when everything else is pointing to you leaving. I can tell you this from experience. But you like it, you want it, you desire the benefits from it. For example, I'm 35 years old. I don't desire to have any more children.
Okay.
I don't desire to have any more children. All right. If somebody is with me, either two things have to happen. Either they have to be settled in that, or I have to change my mind. And there's nothing like being with someone and falling in love with all the normal things that you like about them and you love about them and really wanting them, but having this elephant that's not even in the room, it's outside the house, but still an elephant outside your house is just as noticeable as the one inside the room. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes you kick down the ball of separation, you hold them up, you hold yourself up, or you set yourself up for a hurtful separation because you don't have those conversations. At 35, I need to know, do you want children? If you want marriage, when do you want that marriage to be? Do I have enough time to get to know you for a couple years, or should I be putting on my marriage face now and cut to the chase and let you know, hey, this is where it's at? Because I just don't think I have time to play anymore.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh. If we were on a date, first, second, even third, I'd be like, bruh, calm down.
It'll be 5 years. That's still a lot.
Well,
That's like, uh, I don't know who she agrees with, but she agrees with somebody.
I,
Probably me.
Yeah, okay. It's like, and maybe it's because I'm a faith filled person. It's like God's timing isn't my time. One, um, do I want kids? Sure. Do I want to get married? Sure. But God, dog, it doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. So I guess my next question would be, for the guys, if a girl wanted to get married now, how would you feel? And for the ladies, if a guy wanted to get married now, would you be like, not like the first time you met him, but let's say within the first 6 months? How would you feel about that? We know what brooms, because she like,
fundamental.
anybody can answer that one.
Give me 6 months of dating, and then give me, if 6 months of dating, let me get another
Ooh, okay.
let me get another 6 months of engagement. I think that's fair. If I meet someone, they say, hey, I want to get married, and in my mind I know this is what they want, let me get 6 months to a year to say, okay, we could do this, if that's something I want to do. Now, if I don't want to get married, I may have to say to you, yeah, I'm not looking to get married, because right now my age is 40. Right now, I won't marry again until 40. So anyone
Okay.
come in my life right now, if I'm 30, again, I feel like I've said that 100 times tonight. At my it looks like you do too. At my age, if someone comes into my life, they have to know if their idea for them personally, if it's a 35-year-old woman, if she doesn't want to have children after 40, I'm not her guy. I don't care how much she likes my googly eyes, how much I make her laugh, and how nice looking she is to me. We're not compatible in that if she wants children in the next 2 or 3 years. So there's no point of us even wasting time. I don't care how much we like each other.
Okay.
I won't entertain the thought of marriage until my youngest is in high school. So I'm good. She's only in the 3rd grade.
Right. I was like,
she's only in the 3rd grade. Right.
if I want the same thing, it doesn't matter. That's the point of asking. So if I don't want that relationship's not for me. I agree.
Amen.
But I think that asking that and then making a judgment right then and there, people change. So no, I didn't want to get married, or yes, I'm going to get married today, or I didn't want to get married today. That doesn't mean I
I
will
agree.
wait in a year. So I might have missed out on the guy of my dreams because of my thought processes today.
Can your timetable be? You just gave a timetable like I did. Can your timetable be changed?
I'm
Dun,
wishing
dun, dun.
on the star.
Oh, it's a bit pitchy.
Pitchy and flat at the same time. Glitchy.
Pitchy.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I feel like I'm in a good space.
So what happens if you say that conversation shouldn't be approached? What happens if I come into your life, we're dating, and I'm dating with the assumption that you said that you could be changed, and then I get down the road, let's say 4 or 5 years, she won't be a senior in high school 4 or 5 years. I get down the road and you haven't been converted, but we have so much history that even if I fall out of this or whatever, now we got all this history that was absolutely a waste. That's tough, right? When should that conversation be had?
That was my next question.
About marriage. I mean, I feel like you could talk about it, but don't, like how Chad gave his example and he held her hand and he was like looking deeply at her and giving, like insinuating it was with you that I want to get married. I think you could talk about marriage. I think it should be talked about.
Ooh.
But
Ooh.
I'm going to say, me, what broom, question mark. I'm going to be very clear. I don't want to get married. Like, I don't care. Who, I don't want to get married. And when I say that to people, guys always say, well, you're going to catch feelings. Well, what happens when you start catching feelings? Oh, okay, boo, you're going to catch feelings before I do.
Talk about it.
More,
right. But listen to that. And not you, nice cup. Not you, not you even personally. I think even in my situation, I think a 5-year timetable, I should let you know that off the rip. Why should I? Yeah. Well, you're at a 9-year timetable, Ash. But why?
5 years.
Or 5 years. But my thing is, why, if that is a for sure timetable at the moment, why allow someone to like an amazing you without checking to see if they have the capacity to wait 5 years? If you tell me that,
I said that I would say initially,
but not on the first date.
No, I mean, I feel like that's not a conversation I want to have. If it's brought up, how do I feel about marriage? I don't mind telling someone I'm not getting married. I'm not doing it. I would entertain it, the thought of it, when my daughter gets into high school. But for me, I'm not doing it. And of course, I would be very clear. And so if I want to get married and you don't, a conversation on the first date would tell me not to waste my time.
I agree, Walter.
Yeah, but I mean, have the conversation. For me, like I said again, I'm going to say it one more time slowly. I don't mind the conversation.
Don't
held her hand and implied that it's with you. I don't want that conversation. I don't want him to automatically assume, hey, this might be a thing. But to casually talk about marriage, children,
so what are you dating for?
Goals and ambitions. I would be dating to have fun, to kick it, to
you need to say that in the beginning.
Companionship. But I don't want to be.
You need to say that before the first date. Because if you say that after the first date, forget about you catching feelings or them catching feelings. Somebody might be catching charges. Guys don't think like that. Guys,
I think it's a lot of men that don't mind being booed up.
Right. There are a lot of men that don't mind being booed up. But I'm saying there are a lot more men who, because of the idea of dating a pretty, smart, amazing woman. I was talking about Brandy.
Okay.
Right. Y'all do look alike though. A pretty smart, amazing woman, to hear this is just for fun. I need to be able to decide if I'm okay with that. Because if I'm not okay with that, and in my mind, I can't wait for you to meet my mama, even if I know I gotta wait 5 years. But I can't wait for you to meet my mama.
I mean, well, I would not meet somebody's mother because
why would you meet my? Oh yeah.
No.
You're trying to get an injunction.
One of my things on my list, if I was to remarry, is, and this is very, a lot of people don't like to hear this, but I want
horrible.
Whose mother that we're visiting her on the anniversary of her passing. I don't want to be with somebody whose mother is still alive.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Wait. Let me say this. as
I
a
know we're on
female,
live,
let me
Brandy.
say
Cut
this.
the tape because I know y'all personally. Ashley called me. This ain't right. No, this.
Let me say this. Mothers, straight up, are jerks. They are freaking jerks. And if they have one son, or if it's the youngest son, those Hamanaka's are disrespectful, inconsiderate, and they still trying to put their son on their titty
Listen,
and
listen.
trying to push you
And I
away.
think
I'm
So I
calling
I think
kind
Bishop
of,
a
Roll.
lot.
I kind of understand. I
I'm
kind of
calling
I
understand.
think
Bishop
a
Roll
lot of
right now.
black,
Hold
a
on.
lot of black men.
I'm calling
Somebody
Bishop
said,
Roll
"Wow."
right now.
Somebody said, "Wow." I think a lot of black men, black family. I think that structure is a
Calm
little
down.
interesting. So I mean, that's just me though. People, people want a dog person or a cat person. I just want that kind of person.
And let me also say this. I don't want your mama to be, I don't want your mama to have kicked the bucket. However, I do want to see that you can stand up to your mama. If you cannot stand up to your mama, respectfully so, on my behalf or in protection of me, then I don't want you. If you so cleave to your mama, you're not the man for me. Because if she disrespects me and you don't say anything, I'm gonna say something. We're gonna end up breaking up anyway. So what's the point? Let me ask this question since you've already asked that. When is the right time to talk about marriage? And I feel any time is the right time to roundabout talk about marriage, but don't direct that stuff at me on the first date, second date, first 2 months type of stuff. That's pressure on me also. Men always talk about that. That's pressure on them. That's pressure on me also. If you're directing your marriage talk at me, it's like, dang. So he wants me to be his wife. So that's pressure, and I don't want that pressure. Is it okay for a woman to propose to a man?
I would say it's not okay, but it's not something that I would do or I would want my children to do. And it's not about the if the man findeth a wife. It's not about that. It's just let him be the man. Let him lead. Let him make the decision that he wants. If he wants to be with you, then he will say that. Don't pressure. Don't pressure. Don't apply pressure.
Right.
I think a woman getting down on her knee and asking to Tasia say no, I ain't doing. I think what you eating, Ash? This was real off topic. I think a woman getting down on her knee in public in front of her family or his family and asking a man to marry her, I think is inappropriate. However, I don't think a woman saying, "Hey, I want to get married," is inappropriate. I think a woman putting pressure, gentle pressure, and saying, "Hey, I want to marry you. Let's get married. What do you think about us getting married?" And having that conversation with someone that she loves and who genuinely loves her, I don't think that's inappropriate. But I think a woman having a huge proposal on her knees, you know, he turns around and she's kneeling. I think that's stupid.
I think even if it's not a big proposal, it's just them two. It's still I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't want my children to do it. If my daughter said, "Hey, mom, I proposed to him," and we get married, I would say, "Girl, please, you girl, sit down." Yeah, say I want to get married and propose are two different things. I agree. Brenda, you're muted. You're muted, Brenda.
Because I was opening some candy. I agree with that comment. Saying you want to get married and proposing, two different things. I
Right.
don't care if you sit in a chair across from each other at a park or you throwing a football to them talk about marry me. No, I don't. I am not okay
Yeah.
with that. I don't think if you're going to lead, again, I was talking about leadership, and leadership is very important to me in a man. If you're going to lead, then you need to lead that situation. You need to ask. I don't think a woman should be asking for a man to marry her, and if she does, she's gonna be asking for everything else the rest of that relationship. So I agree. Q, I agree with you. So if a woman asks you to marry them, Would you agree to it? Would you say yes? Let's girl. If you
I'm
know
like,
if you love
no,
her,
girl,
you
I
want to
like
marry
men.
her.
You're so.
But we could be friends.
If a woman, no girl, I like men, right? Uh, if a woman asked me to marry her, I don't know if I would say no. I think this though. To be honest, I don't know how much respect I would have for her.
Why is that?
I think if I think if a woman, to me, because I already said I think it's inappropriate for a woman to do it. If a woman did do it and I said yes because I liked her, this, that, and other, I think most men are, I think they would feel like they have a hold on her or I got her. So they would take leverage and, and, and liberties that they wouldn't take with the woman that pursued her. I think a man loves the pursuit, even of his marriage, the pursuit to get and the pursuit to keep. I think whenever a woman loses a man that's pursuing her mind, her mental, her body, or this, that, and other, she's lost something. You should always feel like you have to pursue what you have or what you're capturing.
So there's this guy that I have like this crush on TikTok. Never met the guy, whatever. And a girl commented in one of his thingamabobs. She was like, "I'm down on my knee. Will you marry me?" And he's like, "No, I do the asking." And that's basically where that question kind of came from. Is how much pressure or how not pressure, but how much nudging should a woman do to get the guy to marry her uh without basically giving ultimatums?
That's a tough question. That's a tough question
I
because
And then
women
let me
don't
ask
want to
this
be
too real
put in.
quick. Let me ask this too real quick. If she asking him to marry her, is he taking her last name? Okay, go.
I think that
Mm.
women apply pressure in their own way already by saying, "Hey, when we gonna get married?" Or, "Oh, my friend just got married. I can't wait till it's me. I can see myself marrying you." Like those conversations happen. Like those conversations always
Right?
happen before somebody proposes. And that's why I kind of agree with Jay about you knew if she was gonna say yes or no. Like unless you just wasn't paying attention, y'all wasn't really communicating. You already know that she's down for this.
Can I say something real
So,
quick there?
yeah.
And if you ask a woman and you feel like she's gonna say no, or and you do that in front of people to get her to say yes because
Mm-hmm.
you're abusive, that's crazy. That's inappropriate. She
Yeah.
should leave you alone. You're a psycho. You probably got somebody chopped up in a freezer somewhere.
But I think that so women do apply pressure. And I think that that's natural if marriage is important to a woman. He's taking too long and ultimately fine. She doesn't need to waste her time there. Yeah, and I feel like sorry that women do apply that pressure in their own way. So proposing to
So
him is not needed.
so a nudge is the same thing as pressure to you.
A nudge,
Or a hint. Or like
I would say it's a
um
pressure, but it's making him aware that hey, this is something I'm interested in, and this is what I want.
okay. Okay. Why do you think people
Uh,
get married nowadays?
You said what?
Who said this? He said no need to nudge if you come into a relationship with the conversation about marriage at the beginning. There's no need to apply pressure. But what is the beginning is the question. What is the beginning? Is it the first date, second date, third, second date, 18th date, whatever this, that, and the third? Like, what is the
I don't think.
beginning?
I think that this should not be a number. It should just be organic. Some people mesh really well out the gate. Some people are
Mhm.
friends for 3 years, and then they decide, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you, and so we already so we know what it is. We've been friends,
Right.
and it is what it is. But some people, it might just be, hey, we're dating, and it's 2 years later, and then it's organic. I don't think that it has to be a number. Like 2 weeks in, we got to do this.
Okay.
Depending on your age, y'all act like people ain't living. Like
That I was just gonna say that.
you're muted, Brian. Oh,
How am I muted? I'm not muted. I can't be muted.
Hello.
can y'all hear me?
Hold on, wait. Brandy, there's
I
a
don't hear y'all.
woman who wanted to give her opinion, and she
Go
texted
out
me.
there and come back.
Oh,
So
can
go
you hear
ahead.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's somebody who wanted to give their opinion. I'm going to let them say their name and state their opinion. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Auntie Eleanor.
Hello, this is Eleanor Wilson, and this is Eleanor, and my opinion about a woman asking a man to marry them, I said absolutely not.
Why should a man say no to that?
Because that's, for me, that the way I feel about it, because that's going to lead to problems down the line. Because, see, you never know, that person might be a control freak, and they want to handle the situation, and she shouldn't even put herself in that spot.
You mean the woman could be a control freak?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
If she wants to push you into marrying, exactly. She wants to control every situation, and she feels that she's probably justified by asking the man to marry her.
I do agree that puts her in a man's role.
Wow.
I do agree with that. That puts her in
I didn't see that from that angle.
In a dominant
role. Yeah, that is
role.
interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. And then too, right? And then see, a lot of times a lot of these dominant, sometimes independent women, they take that a little too far. And I have nothing against independent women and them, being their own person, and making decisions, because I agree with that. But it's just certain things I think in my upbringing and culture that a woman should not ask a man to marry her. I would do it. And I'm hoping my daughter would do it. And if she do, that's going to be trouble for me.
So daughter, if you're listening, it's going to be trouble.
I agree. I think it puts her in the dominant role. And somebody asked if the man does it. If the man, I'm assuming if the man asks, is it controlling? No.
Let the man be a man.
Be the man, and that's according to your own definition, y'all. Calm down, pause. Don't get upset by somebody saying let the man be the man.
Right.
That's according to your own definition. But I agree, let the man be the man.
Exactly.
I had tuned out. Is she watching?
Is she? Who? Me, Eleanor?
No, go ahead, Auntie Eleanor.
Yeah, and see, people coin the phrase, chivalry is dead. Okay.
I don't think chivalry is dead. It's dying, but I don't think it's dead yet. It's like...
The reason almost dead is because, no. I said they coined the phrase that chivalry is dead.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think there's a delay.
Tell her to just pop on while she's talking through the phone.
Right. Just, pop on.
Some men believe in that.
Auntie Eleanor, I'm going to send you a link. So you can actually hop on the live. Okay, I'm texting it to you right now.
This person says, and I posted it just a couple seconds ago.
Okay.
If a man does it, is it controlling? And then followed up, I said no, and then followed up with, so why is a woman controlling for asking? Can you tell me what your name is? Because I'm not sure who's asking this question. But
is that a male or a female asking?
I don't know. That's the question. I don't know. Because for me, there in every relationship, there's a dominant and there's a submissive. Whether it's 49% submissive, 51% dominant, there's a more dominant, more submissive. Okay, that's so I think once you take that control when you take that control, then you are, I think you're stepping out of order. That's for me. You're
I,
getting out of order, and there's an order in a relationship.
I think it's controlling because if my
For
child,
whom? The female or the man?
for the female, because if my child come in my room and tell me turn my light off and go to bed, that's out of order. That's out of order. That's my. I tell you to go to bed. The same thing with this situation. I feel like that's his position. Who
Why
that pretty
ask
lady
a
right
man?
there?
Why ask a
Ask the
man?
man. Who that pretty thing?
Woo! So, and I agree. There is an order in a relationship, and it again depends on your relationship, how y'all set that thing up. Like I know both you and your husband. I mean, for the most part or whatever. And y'all work different. Y'all work different, but y'all work very well together. Um, so I for me, I think she is she is she is making an attempt to control the relationship because he's not asking when I want him to, so I'm gonna ask instead. And yes, that's how I envisioned it. I'm gonna ask instead. Why ask a man? Your thoughts. You know, pop down, talk to us.
She did. I don't think she heard the question. She was coming in.
Oh, can you give her the question for me?
The question.
Oh,
I think her name
can y'all
was
hear me?
Quashina.
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
Quashina asked, "Why is it controlling for a woman to propose, but it's not controlling for a man to propose?"
Mother Lansfield. I mean,
Be, is that directed to me?
yes.
Well, that's just a characteristic. Okay, that's a characteristic because a lot of times people, most men, they want to ask the women to marry them,
Hmm.
Wait, say that again.
but some of them just so fast. Most men want to ask the woman to marry them if they want to get
I
married.
agree. I agree.
I agree with that. I agree with that. You
I
but
Okay,
think stepping out of order does make you
and the
controlling.
woman should not try to rush them or whatever, because
that's
most
what
of
I
the
think
time
makes
a
it
man, when
controlling.
he meets a woman or whatever, he knows if that's the kind of woman he want to be with, or if she's marriage material, you know. And then see, some women
Right.
come out the block breaking all the deals, because you have deal breakers in your mind. So if a lot of times, if they're trying to rush the calls, okay, you done been with this man 5 years and he haven't asked you to marry him, it's time for you to move on,
I'm gonna say a
and
year and a
save
half
face.
or 2 years. 5 years is a long time. To me, and that's to me. 5 years is a long time. It's always been a long time. I'm gonna say if he doesn't know, actually, I feel like if he doesn't know within the first year, then there's a problem. Um, or after the first major argument, rather. So, but to go back on what Christina said, um, the order when you step out of order in church, in school, in anything, that is you trying to control. That is you taking control. That is you controlling a situation. I could be wrong. If you think that's not, if you feel like that's not true, let me know. Let me know. Um, Let me ask this question: do you think men still use uh marriage, the talk about marriage to get a woman boom, boom? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Do you think men use marriage, the talks of marriage, to entreat a woman to do the nasty with him? Let's say they're not doing the nasty.
Okay. Do I think that men use the potential or the hope of marriage to go to bed with women?
No, it's way easier.
Whoever said, look at
No,
these.
someone's just giving it freely. I know, but I'm trying to live. Some of them do weaponize it. I'm trying to live in a world
Believe it
where
or not,
it's
can I
not as
go
free
deeper?
flowing as it is.
Can I go deeper? I think that I think that men use the hope of marriage as a weapon for more than just sexual things. I think they use it. I think, and this is not going to sound this. Listen, I'm not saying I subscribe to this, but I'm saying I do believe it's easier ways to get sex. But there's women who got cars in their name. There's women who got business accounts in their name. There's women who he lived with me. There's women who have a whole lot of other things that they're giving to men. For the hope of marriage, their self-esteem, their dignity, all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? For just the hope of marriage. And I'm not saying if you're giving those things to a man that he's getting over on you, but I'm saying that there are a lot of men, a lot of pick me women who want to be picked as a wife to the point where anything is on the table as long as you
Hmm.
lead me to believe that I'll have your last name.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? I think men still use it as a weapon. I agree with Danielle, and that men do use it as a weapon, because it gives women the idea that, oh, he wants me to be his wife. Oh, this is so
Mhm.
romantical. Oh, he's so sweet on me. Da 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 da. And I agree with this comment also that they use it for a home meal support to get all of the
Mhm.
benefits of marriage without actually having to be without actually following through with the suggestion. And the unfortunate thing, and let's go back up, it's given away so freely, and women are so eager to give it away that it works every single time. Every single time. Well, not every single time. Pause. It works oftentimes. Often. Um, are women using it as leverage? And what are we using it as leverage for?
Women using what as leverage?
Marriage. I'll start. I feel like women, it's sort of in reverse, though, I guess. They're using I'll marry you and you can get some of my thing thing. Or you have to marry me to get some of my thing thing.
Do people still say that? Is that still a
What
thing?
thing thing?
No, like I'm not having sex with you till we're married.
Oh,
That's still a thing.
I hope so.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just asking.
I hope so for the sake of my nieces.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so, but they have a decade or more to think about that. So I'm saying today. I'm not talking about the future.
I think women. I think it's different. I don't think women can hold marriage over a man's head. If you act like a good boy, I'll marry you. Because I don't know any men that are saying, "Well, I'll do all this if you marry me," or who we don't get. Man, I got to do this to get her to marry me. I don't think men do that. I do think this though. I think women use it and leverage in other ways. I think women hide some parts of them until after marriage, and I think that's just as bad as a guy. As a guy, I think if in your dating you're leading me to marriage by showing me a false version of you, I think that that's just as bad as a guy dangling marriage without the intentions of actually marrying you.
I think that if you properly date it, it's only so much she can hide. or conceal until marriage. I think that women do have those things of, hey, you have to do this, this, and this before I marry you. You have to own a car. You have to have your own place. You have to have a job. Like, yeah,
You have to
there
have money in
are
your
some things.
savings and checking
Right.
account.
Yeah, you got to believe in God. I think we
Right,
do
you're out.
have those things that, yeah, you have to do, and that we do set a thing. I do feel like guys are saying, oh, okay, you know what? I want to be with you. Let me go hold down a 9 to 5. Let me get my own place. Let me get a car. People still doing that. If they want to be with that girl, because I don't feel like she's asking things that are not reasonable, that don't make sense. And I feel like every female should have those basic standards of a job, a place, and a car. I mean, if your mother is still alive, treat her well. Like, I don't want nobody that mistreats their mother either.
And
Their
this
dead mother,
comment
you
just
mean?
popped up. Stop
You
it.
mean their mother that's
People
dead?
can lie. Stop it. People can lie for years and you don't know who you married. Let me say this.
When she
I
was
think
alive.
women do hide a part of them for until after they're married. Why should I give you, if I'm giving you all of me, if I'm giving you the marital parts of me, then what's the point of us getting married?
No, he's not talking about that part. He's talking about the negative parts. I think that
Oh,
certain women, yeah. I mean, when
okay, yeah.
I'm gonna be all the way busted wide open in my marriage. Like, maybe that was a bit graphic because everybody feels
Just
like. But I'm just saying that's reserved for that person. So I
right,
do feel like but that's a good holdback.
right.
But I feel like, as far as, I do feel like some people, my mom, let me just say this. My mom said, why, if you're dating a dude and it's bad now, or there's some things you don't like right now, it's not going to get better once you get married, because that's when people relax. So whatever little thing about him you didn't like, most likely it's gonna amp up the moment you get married or soon thereafter, because now he's relaxed. So I do feel like there are negativities that can be hidden.
What was that?
I
What
feel
was that
like if you got a
comment
mental
again?
disorder, stay on the medication throughout our marriage, please. Because
Wow.
Don't come this way.
No.
I
And,
mean,
and
I
not
mean,
only
certain
that,
things like that. I
tag
mean,
me
I
into that
see that.
social media group because I'm sure it's a good time in there.
and I need to see if the dude I'm talking to is in there too.
Right. I
Um,
think that, yeah, certain things can be hidden, but I'm talking about basic stuff.
right.
Like, some
This
people you
comment,
don't know is a slob until you get with them. Now they got stuff everywhere.
I mean, yeah, I think there's signs of that too, though, before you get married. But I think this comment was sort of, it was sort of disheartening. I feel a woman will provide the home and meal support to show him
That's
she's
a
good
good.
enough for marriage.
I agree with that.
Let me say
I agree
this.
too.
Let me say
And
this,
then
and
he
I'm
still won't marry you. Go
this
ahead.
this is not popular anymore. But an old lady said once, she was talking to a group of us young people, and she said, "There's an awkwardness that should come with being single." She said, "A single man who's dating a single woman, he shouldn't know the comfort of a hot meal every night.
Mm,
She
come.
shouldn't be rushing to wash his clothes and to stitch his clothes up." She said, and the same thing with a woman. But watch this. We don't like this part. If he's running to meet you at the gas station to always fill up your tank, and he's doing all these other things to make you comfortable, there really isn't an incentive to get married if that's working for you all. There should be such a yearning for that meal or that man to take care of me that you're figuring out how you could be in a healthy relationship that's long term. Because when you start giving marital benefits, sex is bound to happen. And the longer that happens without you being married, the less of the chances are that you're going to get married.
I don't agree with that older lady because I feel like if he's doing that,
First of all,
repeatedly-
don't you talk about my grandma like that ever
Okay.
in life.
okay, I don't agree with your Graham.
Wait, I didn't see what Tasia said. Put that back up.
Real quick,
After
she
all
said
that, a
after
man
all
can
that, a
still go
man
for
will
a woman.
still go. It's a
Right.
fact. Go ahead.
Right,
It's a
I
fact.
know that's right.
right. Done
Man,
burnt
we
it all
gotta
the
do
way.
better.
Done
Where's
burnt it
Chad?
all the
I
way
need
to
Chad back.
evaporation. Ain't nothing in that.
The
It's a
pot, the pot got salt at the bottom.
thing.
The pot got
That
white at the
was a
bottom.
good pot. But anyway, I feel like
After all that, a man.
that I think that a guy, hey, if a guy is filling my gas tank up, and even if I'm paying for it, because I hate pumping gas, but if he's meeting me at the gas station to pump the gas with the money I pay for it, I like that, and I feel like that would be something to I would want to keep him. You know, I think that would be a part of. Hey, I know I don't want to get married, but you ticking some boxes. I mean, you have
Listen
to
to what
show
you just said.
got.
So
Did you hear what you just said?
I heard what I said.
Go ahead.
Men, literally 1,000 of them who are watching this broadcast, literally just I know I don't want to get married or not. So what you're really saying is you're okay with being in an arrangement where we swap marital benefits.
I'm more than okay with it. It's okay. Did I do that right? Alfalfa.
Okay.
Okay, that is okay. I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm fine with kicking it, having a good time, and being booed up. But I even go on a trip or two. But I
Lord
don't want to get married.
Jesus.
I will cook a couple meals, just a couple. I'll wash some clothes, but I'm not folding them. You know, I'll do all that.
This is me
I don't like
texting your
washing
mom.
clothes.
My
So
mother is very aware.
So I agree with old lady Rags.
Oh,
saying
lady.
that
Did you hear me say that was my grandma?
I agree with old lady grandmama. Whatever. Ain't nobody despise my grandmama. Anyway, I agree that there should be some uncomfortableness between two single people in a relationship. If I'm giving you all of the amenities, all of the benefits, all of the comforts of marriage, again, what is the point? What's the point?
Because you want to lay next
So
to
that will work for you because that's what you don't want. You don't want marriage, at least not currently. For me, that wouldn't work because I want marriage. And also,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving you, I just don't feel like, and even in the gas pumping thing, no, you can come pump my gas. You just don't have to pay all my bills. There's an uncomfortableness that you can do. But I see you at the gas pump.
I agree.
I agree with that. Yeah, I can rock with that.
And then if I cook something, I'll try to make enough for two, but I can't guarantee it. I just want to say a side note that my crush is single with no kids, and he has a
Is
good
this the
job.
TikTok guy you like?
Yeah, and he's in another state.
If you
Womp womp.
text me his name, I will definitely inbox that dude and be a good wingman. I have that dude all on you.
That's a hard no.
Okay.
Do you feel? Do you feel? And that's because I don't think you make a good wingman. Anyway, do you feel? This is my last question. We can go wherever you want with this one. But do you feel you will make a good? Do you feel you make the perfect teammate for someone?
Teammate.
I think a relationship, a marriage is based on teammation. You have to be a good team in order to make that thing.
You know what?
That work.
You know what?
What?
I set up the alley-oop. I give the assist. I could be the coach. Like I'm all about the team. Like I mean, I'm gonna pass you the ball in football. I'm gonna hike it
to the quarterback because he's the quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you.
I mean, I can hike it. Whichever one you want. Like I will be the team. I'm on the team. I just don't
ideal,
want
not necessarily. You don't have to be perfect, but ideal.
Right. I just don't want our team to go to the Super Bowl or the playoffs and win because I don't want to get married. See, that's like equivalent to getting married. I play the game with you, but we don't need to be winning no championships up in here, getting no rings. Like that ain't
That
happening.
was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Like, that was a good one.
When you know.
We're gonna win all the games except for that one.
Right, except for that last one we try to get that ring.
Darn.
We good.
Shucks.
What's a ring?
Jay?
I think that team the problem with what is in that cup? That's a never ending cup. Did you refill that?
That thing is huge, right? It ain't
Good
nothing in
Not
there.
damn.
It's
big,
fakey.
and it's water.
It's fake water. It's fake.
Now it's
Right.
water. I'm
And
on
so
my
ain't no way you've been tipping that up for 20 minutes. I'm sure that's and it's all
Like
the way
full
up.
throttle.
I did go
Full.
refill it. This is my 5th one today. My 5th fill up.
Good for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the problem with teammates in this generation is we don't like role responsibilities. And like Ashley discussed about alley-ooping, in a team, there's certain people. Everybody's not a center. Everybody's not a quarterback. Everybody's not a nose guard. Everybody's not a power forward. So if it's going to be a team, there has to be, oh, you're doing too much with the cup now. There has to be a strategy, and there has to be
Who put that?
role
Danielle.
assignments.
Oh.
You don't know her. I agree. And that's a whole nother topic, gender roles. I think we've talked about gender roles before.
Right.
But even if we take off the gender portion of it, I would say that there are roles that need to be played, and you have to be able to, on a team, play different positions. Like the quarterback can't be the wide receiver.
Uh-huh.
You just can't. You could, I guess, you can technically in basketball set up your own alley oop. You can assist yourself if you
Come on, teach the basketball,
drive.
sis. Come
But
on.
it doesn't count. You don't get an assist for.
It doesn't count as an assist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A self-assist.
Though you don't get those. So you have to be able to play a forward and a power forward. You can play point guard and forward. Like you can play different roles, but not two people can't play the same role at the same time. That's just my thing.
And I want to say
I don't know if teams have more than one captain, but I think they have a captain and a co-captain. I don't know.
Co-cap.
Right.
I feel like
Co-cap.
And this is not a co-cap. Put that under mine. Somebody type that in the comments so I can see co-cap. I feel like
somebody gonna do it, man. I guarantee you.
I know.
Co-cap is on the way.
I feel like men could be teammates, and I'm not trying to prolong the time. I'm not trying to belong the time. I feel like men could.
That's my word.
Belinger the time. But I feel like men could be teammates, but they don't know how to be.
There it is.
Co-cap. But they don't know. I should have screenshot that. But they don't know how to.
Right, Brent.
But they don't know how to properly play on the team. Because sometimes you got to sit on the bench to help the team win. Sometimes men don't want to be on the bench.
You can't be in every play. You can't be in every play.
Even though I'm stronger in this category. Like you know how they got the team wrestling. They high five each other, and then I'm in the ring. You can't be in the ring the whole time. This a team.
They tag each other in is what it's
called.
But
we playing doubles tennis, and you in the back court, but you're supposed to be holding down the front. You don't know how to stay your position. Sometimes you can't play it all. That I just want to say that.
I think there's
because you said what I said. You just belingered. You just drug out what I said, baby. Okay. I agree. And that is something, and I think that is definitely something that is discussed within the relationship, your strengths, your weaknesses, and like sometimes you really do have to sit on the bench and with this INDEPN whatever what women going on, a lot of them don't know when to sit on the bench. A lot of them don't want to sit on the bench.
Men don't know.
And you can let me finish.
I was about to say, because we know how to sit on the bench, and we can be your cheerleader while we on the bench.
You girl, okay.
The only thing I'm not gonna do is be the mascot. I ain't gonna be the mascot.
Hello.
But you guys are so cute.
Anyway, And I do.
That's what Cub do. That's what Cub do.
Anyway, I think because of men's positions and where they feel they should be, and the leader of the dominant, the head of the household, which I agree, a lot of them don't be wanting to sit on the bench, even though it's not them not, even though it's not them not being head of household, it's them making a good decision for their household as head of household. And I think that's something that needs to be discussed within relationships because good leaders know how to follow. It's a wolf pack in this house. You in the back for a reason.
But I think that goes back to your original topic on when to ask, who does the asking, is
Well,
it
actually,
time?
my original topic was not that.
Oh,
It's this. F that. I want to get married. Maybe. If that's okay.
that was so.
You were saying.
I was, I was,
That's not how I read it in my head when I saw it. I
I
was very
know.
confused, so I'm glad you ironed that out.
I'm wrong with her, man. I think that gender roles are important in deciding, like wanting to get married. What does that look like for a man? What does he get? Do you know the number one reason that men, and I just was reading this the other day, um, that men are increasingly not wanting to get married because they don't see the benefit to them. Women get a perceived benefit in marriage. Men, a lot of them don't see the benefit now. And that could be because they're already having sex. And so if that's the benefit, that's not really a benefit anymore in this generation. Because a lot of men who aren't married are having more sex than men who are. You'll get that tomorrow. Hello.
Anyway, hit it
Right.
all the time. Blah, blah, blah. You knew she wasn't going to give it to you when you got married. Anyway.
In the words of Meryl Streep.
Right. Nobody got that but us. Anyway.
Right, you've been lingering the time.
I feel like you knew she wasn't gonna give it to you. You knew what the deal was before y'all got married. You knew
You
she was.
wait a minute. Are you saying that a woman who's having sex with you regularly before marriage, a man should have an expectation that once he gets married, that's going to slow down drastically?
Wait, what?
Are you saying that a woman who is having sex with a man regularly before marriage, that man should expect for it to slow down drastically once they get married?
No, he should expect the exact same thing.
Oh
But he
no.
should know. That's just like you should know if she's gonna marry you or not. If she's rationing, if she has periods where she rationing the cooch while y'all dating, but trust and believe she gonna definitely ration the cooch when y'all get married. You know this. Like
I don't
stop
think
it.
that.
Stop it.
I don't think
Stop
that.
it.
I think that women who are dating a man, they give an unrealistic expectation. I feel like if you're dating her and y'all are doing it 4 times a week or 2 times a week, subtract 2. Because that's her real number.
I
They,
agree with
I
that.
think they throw it. I think they throw it to the left, to the right, and they use it as a trapper. They dressing up, they swirling it in they doing all the extra. They lollipopping. They doing all that, working them jaws real good. But they know that once this thing go down and like when this really happens, that ain't happening. Like I think that that's a real thing.
I'm so glad you're honest about that because the sisters need to be honest.
Right.
Second,
Subtract 2.
Brandy, come back, Brandy.
If it's happening once a week, subtract 2. You're only gonna get it 2 times a month. You went from 4 to 2. Whatever the number is. If it's happening 5 times a week, subtract 2. You might get a 3. That's just me. I mean, I didn't know scientific research, but I believe that. Well, excuse Miss Bradford. Pop on. We want to see your face. We want to talk to you.
I think, I'm sorry. Danielle said
All
everything
y'all
on
who
the
hollering
woman.
about not true and
I
depends on the
disagree.
woman. I call bacon strips.
Butterscotch.
I disagree because I'm falling apart here. Lord, I
Yeah,
feel
Brandon.
like it depends on I can't with her. It depends on the circumstances after. Now, if y'all doing it 4 times a week before y'all get married, and then y'all get married and she busts out a kid, that's gonna change. She has to take care of that child.
I'm seeing that.
Like it depends on the circumstances. If she had to get a second job, then yeah, you not gonna get it 4 times a week. I gotta work. Leave me alone.
Yeah, okay, but y'all living on the fringe and y'all living on the exception to the rules. Most women slow down with sex after marriage. That's a real thing. We gotta admit that's a real thing.
I think that, and let me say this. I think that there's levels to it, and it's not that she just doing to impress, but I think that sometimes what he was doing to impress
Birth
her.
control makes you. Birth control makes you. What I
I guess make your
I'm.
sex drive go down. I don't know, but
Birth control kills sex drive.
I think that. Oh,
What's not
Kim,
true,
no.
Kimmy?
Kim,
I
get
think
off this live, Kim.
Right, because
hold
I
on.
do
I
want
Kim,
to
want
if
know
to
you
say.
don't
what's
get off this
I
not
want to
live,
true.
say
I really
this.
want to.
That I think that when I say slow down, I think not all women is just I'm just trying to impress, but I think that what he was doing to impress her also comes down. So the things that caused her to do what she was doing is not there. When you first get in
so
a
she's not
relationship,
jumping off the
So
dresser
that's the
because he's not.
but
circumstances.
when they first in a relationship and it's fresh and it's new and he trying to be, Rico Suave and oh yeah, this my I take we're gonna go out to eat. And you going out to eat and you doing everything and you doing it on a handstand. And then after a while he hit them drive-throughs. You like, wait, hold on. And then he looking at you to pay for some of the
Right.
bill.
So it's the
It's like, wait, hold
circumstances.
on, you weren't doing all that then. So it's kind of like, I feel like it could be a lot of different reasons, but subtract 2 though. That's what I'm gonna say.
So if y'all doing it twice a week, he down to 0?
Twice a week means 8 times a month. Subtract 2, 6.
Oh, you're
If it's less
multiplying
than
now.
if it's less than 2 in a month, if it's less than 2 in a week,
Look like
subtract
Ashley
2 for the
pulled
month.
out a calculator just then. Look like she was.
Right. Because I'm thinking if it's 2 times a week, that means it's 100 and what? 104 times a year. Subtract 2. Can I do it that way?
No, that ain't how it go.
No.
I'll send you the handbook, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna need
I'll
that.
send
Yeah,
you
I'm
the
gonna need that.
equations, the calculations.
Okay. I'll post that, y'all. Y'all calculate. So if you need to know how many times you're gonna do it when you get married, I'll let you know. Any final thoughts? Any final comments? I do want to know what's not true though, and what birth control does. No, birth control doesn't make it slow down. In my experience, it intensifies it. I'm taking on some birth
Okay.
control. All right, that's good to know. That's good to know.
What birth control was you
Really?
taking? What birth control was you taking? That's the question.
Right, because mm. um, any comments from either of you really quickly?
I think
Mar-
that
any marital advice? Go. You
Shade.
think that?
it's not
Shade.
April yet, Brandy. It's still February. Uh, I do have some marital advice. Stick to your guns. Um, uh, I heard a person say one time, if you're walking down the aisle
Mm-hmm.
and you have
Pressing my
second
balls.
thoughts, turn around. I
My.
I think that a lot of times people think that marriage can solve problems.
Mm.
Marriage doesn't solve problems. If
Right.
they're non-negotiables for you or they're deal breakers for you, I'm not saying two people have to be perfect to get married, but if you know they're red flags that if they continue or if they get worse, they're non-negotiables or deal breakers for you, don't get married to that person.
I can agree with that. And like Ashley's mother said, it only intensifies the problem, marriage. Um, anything you wanted to say?
I would say you can't share your business with everybody.
Meaning?
Like, because you said marital advice within your marriage, certain things you can't share with everybody.
Right.
So be selective. But I don't have any marriage advice. Marriage is, I once heard marriage is a good thing if done right. And that I'll say that.
That's real. And I'll offer advice. I've never been married, I don't know anything about marriage. But I would say that if you want to get married, say you want to get married. Don't live in the in between because that leaves a lot of in between.
Hello.
So if you want to get married, say it. If you don't want to get married, don't. Um, but stick to your guns. Don't say I don't want to. I never want to get married, and then 5 minutes later, you like, so are we ever going to get married? Because now that other person is like, we never get married, so I'm good, and then you want to bring up marriage as a problem. Here's one. Married, about to be 50. Really, girl? Communication and relationship maintenance is
Relationship maintenance.
Yeah, that's good.
Come on, Sister Bradford.
what she needs to come on the live and tell
Yes,
me
Sister
what relationship
Bradford.
maintenance
Relationship
entails.
maintenance.
But yeah, okay. Well, I won't belinger this any longer. It went just a skosh longer than I wanted, but I appreciate it. Yes.
Okay, because
Is
you
this
used to ask us when we got off, or before we got off, do you have anything going on and we want to talk about?
yes? Talk
I'm
about it. Talk
doing
about it.
a photo box experience. So Ash M Photog at TikTok. If you go on my TikTok, you'll see what it is. It's a photo box experience. So I am doing one for the upcoming holiday, St. Patty's Day and Easter. But people say Resurrection Day. So check it out because the one on TikTok is actually Valentine's Day. So that's what I have going on. Book now. Yeah, that's it. Ash and Photog.
Anything else you have going on? The photo box. Oh yeah. I can attest to that because I'm gonna do one myself. Mine not gonna be as cute as the other ones I've seen that she's done, but it's gonna be me. Anyway, anything you got going, Jay?
I feel pressured now to do a plug.
Oh, you don't
Such
have
a
to.
shameful way.
Bye.
I wouldn't even know what to tell anyone. I sell solar. If you want to lower your utility rates,
Contact me if you want to get the
right?
solar, and
I could definitely.
I'll let him know.
I'll explain it to you. It does make sense. It's not expensive. You are interested in it. Everyone who owns a home should contact me, and I can put money back in their pocket every month, forever. Also, I am in the middle of a family life series at our church on Tuesdays at 7:30. Next week, we're discussing sibling relationships. We've dealt with marriages, single people, parents, and next week we're talking about siblings because it's very rarely talked about from the pulpit how we should treat our natural brothers and sisters. So inbox me for the information. It's really, really good, a really good time.
Okay, let me. That was okay. Boom.
I like it.
So if either of you would like to have me post anything flyer wise in the group, let me know, or you can post it yourself. That's
Sure.
fine, and I'll just make sure I approve it. Unless it's solar and I want them to contact me. Anyway, I just want to throw this up there one more time. Book your photography appointments at Ash M Photog on all social media. Follow the Facebook page. Make sure you follow her pages also. And again, solar. So thank you. I'm going to get off of here before it gets to the hour and 45-minute mark. I appreciate you all for joining me. Bye to you all. So March, it might go over 45. Darn it. I'm just, Lord. Okay. Trying to get a minute here, I guess. Anyway, March's schedule will be coming up. March is my birth month. I'm super excited. It's on March 22nd. It's a Tuesday. I was born on a Tuesday. This year's gonna be so banging. Anyway, March schedule will be up in the Question Time Live group. So make sure you uh, like and follow the Question Time Live page. Best place to watch is on YouTube, so I can see who's saying what, and your name will show up. Also, if you comment within the Question Time group, or maybe it's my page, I don't know, I can see the name also. Thank you for joining us today for our marriage talk, and we'll see you next Wednesday for March's schedule. I'm not sure what I have planned for March yet, which is I have a few topics, but I gotta narrow it down. So, like, subscribe to our YouTube page, which is Raw News No Fluff, 5,000 followers. I'm gonna run a 5K. Have not started, but maybe I should. All right. Thanks.